They're sculptors, they're artists, but now they're doing it for a purpose.
They're working on human skulls, trying to give homicide victims their faces back.
This is skull number 7. She was a black female, aged 16 to 25. She was found by sanitation workers covered with garbage.
My skull belongs to a Hispanic male that is between 18 to 24 years old.
11 lost faces now have a chance. Sculpture students at the New York Academy of Art in Tribeca mold faces to unidentified crime victims. For the first time ever, an art class is working with real cases from the New York Medical Examiner's Office.
A fine artist or a sculptor is already getting training on how to be a forensic artist. They already know the muscle structure, they already know anatomy, they already know the human form.
The idea to use real skulls came from class instructor Joe Mullins. This is a side job. He works full-time as a forensic artist at the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. For the last 15 years, Joe has created thousands of age progression images which show what a missing child might look like through the years. He's also worked on hundreds of skull reconstructions. With Joe's experience in law enforcement connections, he helped make this class happen.
It took 8 years to pull this off because it's such a daunting task. There's a lot of people that immediately said, well, you can't do this because you can't give a real skull to the students. And I was like, okay, well, how about if we do a 3D print?
With a hospital CT scan of each skull, a three-dimensional image was produced and sent to a three-dimensional printer that created a lifelike replica.
It's a wonderful, wonderful, merge of the technology and the resources, the medical examiner, the anthropologist, and because it's a combination of art and science to put a face back on these skulls.
I feel a lot of responsibility to get it right because I want to be good at what I'm doing, but it's so much more important than that. I want to get it right so that somebody can recognize her because she was somebody. She was a real person.
Most of the decomposed remains reveal violent clues.
My sculpture is number 11, and it is a male 20 to 30 years old that was found in 2014. Dismembered in Queens.
It was found in the basement of a building on West 46th Street by construction workers, apparently under a slab of concrete.
And this is Joe's skull, the youngest in the class, a little boy found next to his mother and brother in a field in Vermont, all of them shot in the head.
It's horrifying and it's sad and it's I've been doing this for 15 years. I can't think of a way to sum up how devastating it is. I'm holding a skull of a 10-year-old little boy.
Joe teaches his students they cannot take artistic license. They must let the bone structure dictate the facial features. The goal is to produce an image that might spark recognition.
When you start to see that individual, that 10-year-old little face staring back at you, that's when I know when to stop. People ask me, how do you know when to stop? I stop when I see somebody staring back at me.